Hey everyone, I'm Justin, and today I'm going to be talking about what I've learned growing 24-hour homepage, my creative art project. So some context, I'm a software engineer, and I've had the good fortune of working with a lot of great companies on cool products. I also like to tinker and make personal projects. A few years ago, I built one called Selfless, which was a resource sharing platform. And I found after I spun it down, I did a little retrospective that I kind of steered towards product development, towards adding more features, polishing that, rather than growing the thing, getting users in the network. So when I got the spark to do another personal project, I really wanted to improve in that respect. So I started identifying what problems I actually wanted to solve. So number one, I suck at communicating. Back in Selfless, I would do anything to steer towards product development and kind of really avoid that. So whatever I work on now has to really force me to get out there and do talks like this, and you'll see the other learnings. Problem number two was more of an abstract one. I started thinking about how the work we do as software engineers is sort of evaporates, disappears. So I'm not trying to change any universal laws or anything, but it was the grounds for a lot of my thinking. So I started brainstorming. And one idea really shined through. That's 24-hour homepage. And I'm going to pause to appreciate this animation, but not too long. Okay, so it's a 24-hour movie, effectively. It played 1 frame per second for the corresponding UTC second of the day. If you go visit right now, 24hourhomepage.com, you'll see a pretty bare bones website. Not a lot of features on it by design. Of the features that are there, once you publish to the website, you can't change the content, so it acts like a time capsule. You get to own the seconds of the day, and I host the content forever. Forever. It's pretty ominous. All right, so what's nice about a simple product like this is that there's no feature creep, which means I can't be tempted to go add those bells and whistles that I've done in the past. I have to get out there and communicate it. The second is that it's a chicken and egg problem. Which really forces me to showboat it, to get in people's hands, to try new things. So here I am. And last is that it's just fun. At the end of the day, it's a big meme movie. So I get to talk to a lot of content creators or ideas that I'd like to see 100 years in the future. I say 100 years, but that's a big hope. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the initial systems that I set up before I get into the experiments. First, I knew that I needed to be held accountable for it. So I started publishing a weekly blog on Medium. I document my experiments from the previous week. I talk about what I'm going to do this week. Then I use FocusMate Daily. If you're not familiar with that, it is a accountability partner program where you get paired with somebody in the world. You sync up for 50 minutes over video chat. You declare what your goal is for the hour, and then you work on it. At the end of the hour, you say, did you meet your goal or not? What's great about it as a developer is, and it focuses you. I know that's really groundbreaking, but you can't get stuck in analysis paralysis. If you show up to a meeting and you don't know what you're working on, you're kind of wasting somebody else's time too. So I love that service. The other two were communities, Indie Worldwide and Indie Hackers, which are for bootstrappers and entrepreneurs of all sorts of expertise levels. So great learning there. You get to share your victories, celebrate other people's victories, bounce ideas off of each other. I definitely recommend this. So onto the experiments. And first, I started with cold emails. If you're like me, you are not a fan of them if you like inbox zero. But I actually made my first sales through this, so I should recommend it. The big learning is that you should follow up on people. Just because you send them an initial ping and they don't reply, you might try them again in a few weeks or a few days with a different message, a different context, a different thread. Go for it. So I use two tools, one called Streak CRM and another called Apollo. to help me build reminder systems. Apollo offers some automatic sequencing tools, which I haven't mastered. I think my best is just being behind the wheel and crafting messages, direct messages and follow-up. But what did I learn? You should do it. The worst that could happen is someone says they're not interested. And at the end of the day, that's not that bad. Just try it. The next experiment I call heavy lifting. So Rohan's the founder of a product called Tidbit. They make a pixel display, a programmable pixel display. And they were launching on Kickstarter. I knew his focus was going to be all on launch, so I didn't want to distract him. But I offered him this GIF. I made him an ad. I said, you could use this to promote your launch and your product. And if you think the product's going to be around in 10, 50 years, you can publish it on 24-hour homepage. And so he quickly joined. And he also chose a pretty coveted time. So if you've been looking at the availability map, I'm sorry, but it's reserved. So it does take a lot of time and energy to craft, to do the heavy lifting, so to speak. But what I learned, you should do it. What you get when you go the extra mile for somebody is, they might not actually be interested, but you're offering value to somebody, and that's a win-win. So the next experiment was video and email. So I recorded myself a quick pitch and translated it to a GIF, overlaid a little play button on it. Email clients won't let you embed video, so I had to have this little workaround where that GIF links to my pitch, and I cold emailed a bunch of people with this. At the end of the day, it performed on par with my other, just raw text cold emails. So it's hard to say, if I should recommend it, but on second thought, yes, you should do it. Why? It's a new, anything that gets people's attention in a new way, I think is worth your time. It's creativity will start all kinds of conversations. My next experiment was to join LinkedIn. Now I joined like 10 plus years ago. The first time I added a post, like a few weeks ago, they sent me a congratulations email. So, hey, if you didn't know that LinkedIn experience exists, it's there. So I started reaching out to bigger companies. My idea was anybody with a history of creative marketing and a marketing team might be interested. But I quickly ran into message cap issues on their service. So it wasn't as much a sales platform as I thought it was going to be, but it was a great networking platform. There's a group called Net Synergy within LinkedIn of professional advertisers and marketers. And I had 15 video calls with them, with different advertisers, just to talk about my vision. Do they have any ideas? Can they steer me in a direction? So, it's not a sales platform for my case. So I don't know if I can really recommend it, but you know what? Yes, do it. What you get when you network is unbound opportunity. That sounds really big, but it's great to talk to other people, get out of your own head, express an idea, and just communicate it. So the next experiment were 2 challenges. One was 100 customers in 100 days. It's still ongoing. This is coming from that community I mentioned before, Indie Worldwide. And that's the idea. You're trying to get 100 customers in your product in 100 days. And there's a bunch of people in the challenge. You get grouped off into small groups, and every week you meet, you celebrate the customers you got, you ask for the challenges, see if you can help each other out. It's a great community. You can't join right now, but I really hope that they're doing the second one, so I would encourage you to check them out. The other one is rejection therapy. This is a pretty interesting idea. The idea is that you get rejected every day. You have to. That's the goal. One big caveat is that you should want the thing that you ask for. I learned this in a kind of interesting way on FocusMate at the end of the session. I was like, oh, shoot, I just started this rejection therapy. Let me try. Hey, person working on your PhD thesis, can you print it out to me and mail it to me? And they, yeah, sure. What's your address? Oh, no, please don't. I had to break character and kind of give them the context of the whole thing. So I would say it's a great system for any place that you might need a nudge. Also with accountability partners, they're amazing at, when you talk about your problems, they might be like, boop, just push you over the edge.
I don't know if I could take that kind of a rejection.
So what did I learn? Ultimately, I think for your side projects, you should have the fire within to grow it. But these external challenge systems are great for kind of keeping you on your toes, thinking, getting you to think in new ways. This next experiment is hot off the press. Yesterday, I ran it. It took a while to create 148 GIFs for interesting projects, either for builders that I appreciate and respect, or projects that I'd like to see long into the future. The Long Now Foundation, for instance, EFF. So I messaged these people publicly, and I have no audience on Twitter or weight to my username. So I was relying solely on the crafted message to kind of get their attention and really give them some value. Same idea, give them a GIF. And if they're interested, this one wasn't a sales experiment. This was more of a marketing experiment. They get a little GIF that they can add to their signature, as the company Hungry did. Or maybe add it as a meta tag, so when you share it on Slack, you get a new animation. But really, just trying to get the idea out there. So what did I learn? Do it. I'm new to Twitter, and it's taken me a while to get here. But how fast people are at responding to an idea. If they like something, they'll like it and they'll engage with you. And likewise, you should be participating in that way. I'm really trying to level up like that world, because I think it's such a vibrant community. This experiment, I wasn't planning on running until later, but again, shout out FocusMate. On Monday, I had a session with April, who runs a podcast, Yes, I Work From Home. She interviews people all around the world who work from home and what their experiences and challenges are like. And at the end of our call, we were geeking out about our projects, and she invited me to it and said, we could probably publish it before your talk. So it was great. The context was about working from home, but we had a good chunk of time talking about 24-hour homepage and all the energy that goes in, to creating this. So the lesson here is that you should do it. All right. If you talk to new people, if you're not selling them, you're just expressing what you're interested in. New doors might open up. This last experiment, I'm very proud of. This is what I call talking to a big fish. So I had already got a lot of content on 24-hour homepage, and I was dreaming up, what are the most creative products on the market? And we've been a subscriber since December to Vinyl Moon. Their offering is a mixtape monthly subscription service on vinyl. So they curate music from all around the world. They find an artist to do like super elaborate packaging. It's just such a great vinyl experience that it struck me like I got to reach out to them. So took this photo on the left and sent it to their support channel, because I couldn't find any emails of anybody who worked there, and said, if you could connect me to the CEO, I would love to talk about the vision of my art project, because I know you all have a penchant for creativity. And after a few weeks of following up, eventually I scheduled a call with Brandon, and proud to say that they joined for 2 minutes. Big shout out, not only to the product that they have, because I love it. It gets me away from just, garbage recommendations elsewhere. But also to Brandon for sort of shepherding a creative product and his willingness to reach out to an entrepreneur in this creative space. So what did I learn? Do it. Working with a big fish is great. Your morale will go through the roof. And it took a long time to really engage with them, but it was worth it. So my parting words are pretty simple. Don't give up. There's a lot of ups and downs on this, but like I said, if you have that fire inside, or you surround yourself with accountability systems, you'll make it through. The next is to offer value in some respect. So David had alluded to this in the intro that you don't need to sell. I've heard that the best salesmen don't sell anything. Really just try to connect opportunities, understand what your value is and try to find who could benefit from that. Also, this project would not have come about if I didn't have some introspection in where I wanted to grow. So if you have something that you'd like to build, but also some places that you'd like to grow, maybe there's a way that you can merge those two. And the last is just a note of time, that no one steps in the same river twice. And maybe you've had some failures in your personal projects before, but you can learn from them and use them as the fuel for a new vision. If you didn't catch on, that's a nice acronym for do it. After this, I'm going to be in Rambly. You'll find me as the dog, unless somebody else got that. I'm going to be the dog. My name is Justin. Please go to 24hourhomepage.com. There's a discount for js.la this week. Even if you're not interested in joining, I'd love to hear what you think about that in any of the channels that you can reach me at. And lastly, I'd like to say thank you to js.la and the organizers. I moved to LA 2 years ago with my fiance, and I'd been in the Bay Area for 12 years. It's been great to sort of build a new community, make it feel more like home. So thank you. You can find me at Justin Projects or higgins.medium.com.